नमां विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति-वेदांत स्वामिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे गुरवे गौरचंद्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवास आदिगौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, you are all welcome for morning Srimad Bhagavatam class at Shri Krishna Balram Mandar ISKCON Vrindavan. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, chapter 86. The chapter is entitled Arjun marrying Subhadra, and Lord Krishna along with Devrishi Narad and adult sages visiting Mithila. Mithila is a kingdom, and where he is going to bless two of his great devotees. One is King Shrutadev, also one is a King Bahulasram, and the other is Brahman Shrutadev. So this section which we are discussing today, this section is from verse number 50 to 57. And in this section, Lord Sri Krishna instructs Shrutadev, who is a Brahman, on the glorious position of Brahmanas or Vaishnavas. So this is the section in which Lord Sri Krishna glorifies the Brahmanical culture, because Krishna's mission is Go Brahmana Hitaya. Go means mother cow and Brahmanas means Brahmanical culture. Hitaya means to benefit. So first we are reading this verse and then we'll discuss the purport. देवाः क्षेत्राणि तीर्थानि दर्शन स्पृशन अर्चनैः शनैः पुनन्ति कालेन तदप्य अर्थतम ईक्षया Devaha kshetrani tirthani darshan sprashan arachanai shanaihi punanti kalena tadapi arthatam ikshaya devaha kshetrani tirthani darshan sprashan archanaihi shanaihi punanti kalena tadapi arthatame kshaya devaha temple deities kshetrani pilgrimage sites tirthani the sacred rivers darshana by seeing sprashana being touched archanaihi and being worshipped shanaihi gradually punanti purify kalena with time tadapi the same arhatam of those brahmanas who are most worshipable ikshaya by the glens. Translation by Srila Prabhupada's disciple. One can gradually become purified by seeing, touching and worshipping temple deities, places of pilgrimage and holy rivers. But one can attain the same result immediately simply by receiving the glance of exalted sages. And the purport? The purport is, in the purport there's a quotation of one verse from the periods of Prahlad Maharaj. And this verse is Prayena deva munyah swa vimukti kama maunam charanti vijane na prartha nishtaha naitam vyahaya kirpanan vimuksha eko na anyam tadasya sharanam brahmato anupashyai. And the translation, this which is given here, exactly Srila Prabhupada's translation. My dear Lord Nrsimhadev, I see that there are many saintly persons indeed, but they are interested only in their own deliverance, not caring for the big cities and towns. They go to the Himalayas or the forest to meditate with vow of silence, mauna vrta. They are not interested in delivering others. As far as, however, I do not wish to be liberated alone, leaving aside all these fools, poor fools and rascals. I know that without Krishna consciousness, without taking shelter of your lotus feet, one cannot be happy. Therefore, I wish to bring them back to shelter at your lotus feet. So this is the translation from the verse. So we can refer to the purport by Srila Prabhupada on this verse also. But before that, we just a little bit relish the verse. Devaha, deities in the temple. How they purify in due course of time, darshana. No, archanai. Deva, archanai. Archanai means worship. So by worshipping deities in the temple, in due course of time, one is purified. Then the word is kshetrani, which means place of pilgrimage. And that is by darshan. We go to the place of pilgrim for seeing. So darshan is with pilgrimage. Archan is with deities, and Sparshan is Tirthani, the place of rivers. We touch, we do Achman. So these three words, each word is generally with a particular, first Deva Archanai, by worshipping deities. Kshetrani Darshana, and Tirthani Sparshan. What will happen? Shanai means within due course of time, and Punati means purify. Kalena, which means due course of time. Now, comparison to this, the last line says Tad api, all that. Arhatam, aharatam, aharatam. This word arata means worship also. Arat means worship. Therefore, the word is those who are most worshipable. In word to word meaning, worshipable. And tam is like aharat, aratamar, aratar, aratam. It's a superlative degree of worship. So aratam means those who are best worshipable personalities. And who are they? They are Brahmanas. Now situation is like this. Lord Sri Krishna, along with Devrishi Narad and other sages, they visited the place called Mithila. The word Mithila is connected with two more words. The other word is called Videha Raj. Raj means kingdom. Videha means one who don't want to live in the body. Deha means body, Vi means without. And the third name connected with the Mithila is Janaka. Janaka means one who is born. Now the story with these three words is in 9th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Nimi Maharaj. He is the same famous Nimi Maharaj in whose yagna sacrifice 9 Yogendra came and Bhagavad Dharma was spoken. So this Nimi Maharaj, he has a priest Vashishth, Brahma Rishi Vashishth. He asked Brahma Rishi Vashishth to do the sacrifice. Same at that time, Indra invited Vashishth for sacrifice. So Vashishth preferred Indra and said, you wait when I come back. And Vashishth left for Indra's sacrifice. And Nimi Maharaj said, there's, Baji may not last. I have a good idea to do the worship. I should do it now. I cannot wait. So he invited other Brahmanas and he got the yajna done. By the time the Brahman was going, Vashishth was coming. He said, from where you are coming? I said, we just finished the yajna of Nimi Maharaj. He said, how come Nimi, who is my Yajman, how can he ask somebody else to do yajna? So Vashishth became angry and he said, I curse you. Why you engage some other priest? So you leave the body. And before leaving the body, Nimi Maharaj said, why you went to the Indra? Maybe he gives you more remuneration, dakshana. You left me, I am your dependent, so I curse you to leave the body, and both left body. So Vashishth was again bound by Mitra and Varuna, and Nimi Maharaj was kept in herbs and medicinal oils, and then his body was churned. And because his body was churned, the churn is called Manthan. So his kingdom is called Mithila. And because he said, I don't want to live in the body, so he's called Videha Raj. But since from churning, he came back to life, so he's called Janak. So he is the Nimi Maharaj, the first Janak. In the line of this Maharaj Nimi, the famous father of Mother Sita, who married Lord Ramachandra, this Janak is 22nd generation or something like that. So Janak is a title. of this lineage. And the name of the mother Sita's father was Kushadhvaj or Khirdhvaj. Those the two brothers are there. So anybody who rules the kingdom Mithila is called Janak, and is also called Vidyaraj. So this is the kingdom which Lord Sri Krishna visited, and at that time, in this line, Maharaj Janak was Bahulasa. He was ruling there. And a one poor Brahman, Shrudadev, was also great devotee of Lord Krishna. Both approached Krishna and begged that please visit our home and give us opportunity to worship. And Lord Krishna simultaneously became two. And he made all the sages also two. And he went at both places. He stayed only one day at Shrudev Brahman. He stayed 1 month with Bahulasa. So there was no difference of time, and nobody noticed this. So this is some extraordinary opulence of Krishna. Now when he was at Shrutadev's palace, place, which is simple Brahman, he gives some chatai, kush grass to sit, and some water and some roots and some whatever Brahman can give. And Krishna was fully satisfied. And then Shrudev started offering prayers to Lord Krishna. But he did not offer prayer to Brahmanas who was associating with Krishna. And Sri Krishna noticed this. And therefore Krishna spoke to Shrudadev. You are praying, you are praising me, you are glorifying me, but more than me are these Brahmanas. With this intention, this verse is spoken. This whole set of verse from verse number 50 to 57 is Krishna glorifying Brahmans. So in this verse, the quotation by Srila Prabhupada's disciple from Prahlad Maharaj's periods, I am reading the purport by Srila Prabhupada. This is the decision of Vaishnava. Prahlad is a Vaishnava. This is a decision of the Vaishnava, the pure devotee of the Lord. For himself, he has no problems, even if he has to stay in the material world, because his only business is to remain in Krishna consciousness. The Krishna consciousness person can go even to the hell and still be happy. He can go to the hell and still be happy. Therefore, Prahlad Maharaj said, Naiva udvig, no udvije, paradurtaya vaitranyaha. I will not be agitated even if you throw me in hell. I will not be going to be agitated. But the transfer, O best of the great personality, I am not at all afraid of the material existence. The pure devotee is never unhappy in any condition of life. Any condition of life. This is confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam 6:17-28. Narayan paraha sarve na kutaschan bibhyate swarga apavarga narkeshwa apihi tulya artha darshana. The devotees solely engaged in the devotional service of Supreme Personality of Godhead Narayan never fear any condition of life. For them, the heavenly planet, liberation, and hellish planets are all the same. For such devotees are interested only in the service of the Lord. For the devotees being situated in heavenly planet and being in the hellish planet are equal. For a devotee lives neither in heaven nor in hell, but with Krishna in a spiritual world. Srila Prabhupada was in New York in a room, and he spoke to the devotees. Do you think I am in America? He said, no, I am in Vrindavan. Say, I'm in Vrindavan. Then he said, Vrindavan is consciousness. That how to please Krishna. Wherever you are in the world, if you have this consciousness, how to serve and please Krishna, then you are in Vrindavan. So Vrindavan is consciousness. And here, devotee may be in heaven or hell or anywhere, but as long as he is Krishna consciousness, his intention is how to please Krishna. How to please Hari Guru Vaishnava, then he is with Krishna. This is what Srila Prabhupada is writing, that for the devotees being situated in heavenly planet or being in the hellish planet are equal, for the devotees lives neither in heaven nor in hell but with Krishna in the spiritual world. The secret of success for the devotees is not understood by karmis and jnanis. Karmis therefore try to be happy by material adjustment, and jnanis want to be happy by becoming one with the Supreme. The devotee has no such interest. He is not interested in so-called meditation in the Himalayas or forest. Rather, his interest is in the busiest part of the world, where he teaches people Krishna consciousness. The Krishna conscious movement has started for this purpose. Underline this. Krishna conscious movement is started for this purpose, to live in the biggest cities, in the heart of the cities, and teach people Krishna consciousness. For this purpose, we do not teach one to meditate in secluded place just so that one may show that he has become very much advanced and may be proud of his so-called transcendental meditation. This was the buzzword that at that time, so Prabhupada punched them as a TM, transcendental meditation. So we don't like that, Prabhupada says. Although engaged in all sort of foolish materialistic activities. He is doing transcendental meditation, but also he is engaged in all foolish materialistic activities. And what are these foolish materialistic activities? in one of the lecture, Srila Prabhupada says, they sing nicely, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Oh, after some time they said, my throat is dry, give me some cigarette or bidi. This is one of the lecture of Prabhupada. They sing so nicely, and then at the end, no, it's too dry, now give me some bidi. Prabhupada said, word bidi. So this is the sort of singing and meditation and engage in foolish materialistic activities. Yeah. So this both cannot go together, but this is foolish materialistic. A Vaishnava like Prahlad Maharaj is not interested in such bluff of his spiritual advancement. Rather, he is interested in enlightening people in Krishna consciousness, because that is the only way for them to become happy. It means happiness is only possible when somebody come in contact with Krishna. And the best way is by chanting his holy name in association of devotees. That is the only way to become happy. By the way, when you are happy, what do you do? If there's a happy moment in your house, what do we do? Chant Hare Krishna. That's good. Anybody who is not even Krishna conscious, if he is happy, what he will do? Chanting, dancing and eating. That's all. There's a birthday. Come on, chanting, dancing, feasting. Marriage, chanting, dancing, feasting. It means to be happy, you have to chant, dance and feast. That is only once in a while for them. We have every day. So this is the only way to be happy, chanting, dancing and feasting. How to show that you are happy? You do this. A person who is morose cannot dance. He cannot dance. Only happy person can dance. And I think in this book, Blazing Sadhu, Achyutanand Maharaj writes, the one who cannot dance is not a sadhu. He said he cannot be called sadhu if he is not dancing. So Prabhupada at the age of 70s, he was dancing. 72, 3, 4. First he started the yoga step, and then once all of a sudden he started jumping, and all over the ISKCON at that time, later when new way Swamiji has started dancing, is dancing up and down. So this is the way to show that you are happy. There's no other way. And how? It means the happiness is coming from soul. It's not coming from body. Soul is Anandamaya, not the body. So the chanting, dancing is actually, Srila Prabhupada says, uncovering the lid from the soul where there's a treasure of happiness. So he said, chanting and dancing, at that time you have mridang and khartal. For singing you can use harmonium, but for uncovering the source of happiness, which is soul, you have to dance, and with the mridanga and khartal, that is also counted. In Jagannath Rath Yatra, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made the parties. Each party is one singer, one dancer, man, and 2-3 followers of the singing, and mridanga too, for 7 khartal, something. There's a system also for even just this chanting, dancing is a system. And that ecstasy, which is coming from soul. And this is one of the realization which I shared with the devotees. I am not body, I am soul. That only you can realize when you dance and chant. There's no other way. Because at that time you forget your body. You are not aware of your body. And that times, once in a while, you feel some really sweet memories of blissful experience that you have never experienced in anything, any place, with anything else. And there is actually a glimpse of ananda, ecstasy coming from soul. That is only possible in an association of devotees chanting and dancing, the Sankirtan movement of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The Sankirtan movement is the only movement for self-realization in this Kali Yuga. There's no other way, no other way, no other way. So this chanting and dancing, if the devotees participate more into this, quickly they realize that I am not body, I am soul. To come to this standard, this is the process. No other process will work. Theoretically we can say this, but practically we cannot experience this. 2 hours kirtan a day keeps Maya away was the slogan of early Sankirtan devotees. 2 hours kirtan a day keeps Maya away. And that kirtan was not from the temple kirtan. This was normal, everybody. After that, you have to be together and do kirtan. This is movement, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement. More kirtan, more kirtan, more kirtan, quick realization. Then, Srila Prabhupada writes, a Vaishnava like Prahlad Maharaj is not interested in such bulk of spiritual advancement. Rather, he is interested in enlightening people in Krishna consciousness, because that is the only way for them to become happy. Prahlad Maharaj says clearly, Na anyam tvad asya sharanam brahmato anupashya. I know that without Krishna consciousness, without taking shelter of your lotus feet, one cannot be happy. One wanders within the universe, is life after life, but by the grace of the devotee, a servant of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, one can get the clue to Krishna consciousness and then not only become happy in this world, but also return home back to Godhead. Prabhupada has just put the word devotee of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because they can do only Sankirtan. There's only way. See, I'm reading again. I know that without, this Prahlad Maharaj is saying, I know that without Krishna consciousness, without taking shelter of your lotus feet, Lord Nrsimhadev, one cannot be happy. One wanders within the universe, if life after life, but by the grace of a devotee, Kama, is servant of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One can get the clue to Krishna consciousness. Nobody else can give clue to Krishna consciousness except Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. So without going to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it's not possible for anybody to get Krishna Prem. That is clue to Krishna consciousness. Srila Prabhupada was asked once by his dear devotee, how can I please you, Srila Prabhupada? Srila Prabhupada paused for a while and then he said, when you awaken the love of Krishna, I will be pleased. It means the Krishna consciousness culmination is awakening of love of Krishna. And that can only be given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's devotee. So the principle is, we all have joined Krishna consciousness to awaken the love of God. This is the first principle we should write and read every day. I have joined Krishna consciousness to awaken my love for Radha Shyam Sundar. Love for Krishna. Krishna includes everything. Then for this, the person who can give this love is only Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Nobody else can give. In other words, Radharani can give the love of Krishna because she is the reservoir of that. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in that mood. So he can only give, but he only gives to the person who is recommended by Nityanand Prabhu. He only gives the love of God by recommendation of Nityanand Prabhu. And Nityanand Prabhu only recommend those who go and preach to Dagai and Madhai. This is the principle. It means those who take risk, even for getting their head broken, and go to the place where the preaching is very tough and difficult, and they deliver them, then Nityanand Prabhu is pleased. And this is very easy. How Nityananda Haridas was going in all street, just doing Harinam. Because this is the way those people even don't want to listen, this sound will go in their ears. Generally speaking, many places I have to say nowadays in the temples that our temple devotees, even when they are going out for book distribution, they only distribute to the Hindus. Even they say some Muslims, they will not give the book to that because they have conceived idea that I have to go to this person. If you give the book distributor to Russian, they can give to the policeman, they will to rickshawala, they give it to anybody. But we are just, already preconceived that we have not to go to others. It means we are focused that we only have preached to the Hindus. But this Prabhupada never liked. When Prabhupada went to the Nairobi and he asked Brahman, so how your things are going on? He said, nothing. These all Indians, they are giving everything and we are mentioning. He said, no, the Indians are already Krishna conscious. Have you preached to the local people? He said, no. He said, no, to organize the program there. And they organized the program and so many people came in Nairobi and with their bengas and the big kirtan and prasad. So he wanted, so how that can be accomplished? How we can get out of this, that only we can preach to the Hindus. This is an international society for Krishna consciousness. It is Srila Prabhupada's mood is international. And if we just miss this tangentially in the future, this is going to be a localized, Hindu movement, which is not Prabhupada's mood. Therefore, Harinam Sankirtan we do in the street, even one who is not Hindu, the sound will go in his ear and that will purify him. Amen. Because his ear is open, he cannot close the ears. So this is the way. And you have to take this risk to go to these people, then only Nityananda can recommend to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Where there's nobody else. I mean, with this, my realization, when I go to Russia sometime, I'm very happy because I don't see any Indian. There's no Indian there. So it means this is preaching that you see the people who are taking to Krishna. And Prabhupada said, because Krishna Prem is in everybody's heart, simply you know how to take it out, then they become Krishna. So how they become Krishna conscious if they have no Krishna Prem in their heart? So as Prabhupada's complete understanding that every heart, Krishna Prem Nitya Siddha, Sadhya Kabhu Nahi, everybody's heart is full with Krishna Prem. Now you only know to awaken that. He may be Russian, he may be African, he may be American, he may be European, whoever he is. He may be any country, Bangladesh, Pakistan, whatever. You can awaken that because it is there. And that we have to take risk. Prabhupada was challenged here in India in 71. You are saying your society is international. Are you preaching in Pakistan? Somebody said at that time. And Pakistan was in two parts at that time, East and West. Prabhupada took this challenge very seriously. He immediately asked Gargamuni to go to the East Pakistan and Brahmanan to go to the West Pakistan. Immediately he sent. It was in 71. And both went there. One went, Gargamuni flew to the Dhaka. Brahmanand by hitchhike and by some transport through Afghanistan, he entered Pakistan. And then 71 war, so he has to come back. He could not continue there, but Prabhupada took challenge and he sent them. He said, I cannot go, but my American disciple can go and preach there. So see the mood of Srila Prabhupada. He wanted to preach to all people because Krishna, Ishvara Sarvabhutanam, he is the master of all living entities. Ishvara, he is a Ishvara, which means master actually. He is for all living entities. And he is in everybody's heart. It's not that in the African's heart is some other God is there. No, he is there. And his love is there. Only we have to bring it out. And the only process to bring out is Harinam Sankirtan. Harinam Sankirtan and Prasad. Srila Prabhupada was going from Pittsburgh to New Vrindavan, and those who came to receive him, he asked them, do you know, we spread this movement by two things. By sweetly chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra and by distributing Prasad. So these are the two things we have done to spread this movement all over the world. So this is the same principle. Do Harinam and distribute Prasad. This movement will go for 10,000 years. The golden era of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Two things. Powerfully chant Hare Krishna and spread, distribute Prasad. And then one day Srila Prabhupada said, well, Brahmanand, early days we don't have even Prasad to distribute. But we were doing only Harinam. And then said, in class, maybe I had one ample and I count the people, and then I'd make that many pieces to distribute to everybody. So, but anyway, he said, even when we have no Prasad, but the Harinam is most important. So this, Srila Prabhupada writes, devotee is servant of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One can get the clue to Krishna consciousness, which means to awaken the love of God. This is clue to Krishna consciousness. And if you have love for Krishna, what you will do? How can we show the love for Krishna? By service. Service is the only process to show that you love somebody. Therefore, the two things together, love and service, is called devotion. Love and service together is called devotion, loving devotional service. So devotion means love, service with love. And that is birthright of everybody. It simply has to be awakened. It is there. And the process is chanting holy name. Now, and then he become Krishna, understand and then not only become happy in this world, but also return home back to Godhead. That is the real target in life. The members of Krishna conscious movement are not at all interested in so-called meditation in the Himalaya or forest, where one will only make a show of meditation. Nor are they interested in opening many schools for yoga and meditation in the cities. Rather, every member of Krishna conscious movement is interested in going door to door to try to convince people about teaching of Bhagavad-Gita as it is. Now, this is a marathon month. Take this one line of Srila Prabhupada. Each and every member of Krishna consciousness, his business is go to door and give them Bhagavad Gita as it is. See? So what wonderful statement is there. This is the business of each and every member of Krishna conscious movement. Go door to door. Try to convince people about teaching of Bhagavad Gita as it is. The teaching of Lord Chaitanya. That is the purpose of Hare Krishna movement. The members of Krishna conscious movement must be fully convinced that without Krishna, one cannot be happy. Thus, Krishna conscious person avoid all kind of pseudo-spiritualists, transcendentalists, meditators, monists, philosophers, and philanthropists. So Krishna consciousness is beyond all these. Now, the purport for this verse by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes, moreover means in the previous verse, there is glorification of Brahmanas. He said, Shrutadev, you are glorifying me. These Brahmanas are more than me. This is Vishnu told to 4 Kumaras that even my hand go against Brahman, I will cut that. Then Krishna again is speaking to his own children when Krishna took the lizard from the well and Maharaj Narga came and he asked, who are you? He said, I am the one who donated so many cows, but one Brahman's cow came back and I could not do the justice, so I have to become lizard. Then Krishna told to his own children that, see, Brahman's property is so carefully, never ever touch Brahman's property. It will ruin everything. And then he glorifies Brahmans. In many places in Bhagavatam, the real Brahmanas, and Srila Prabhupada said, after Brahman you become Vaishnava. They are glorified. So he said, moreover, Brahmins who immediately purify one just by their darshan. Then we remember this bhajan, Gangara Sprashe, Darshan Pavitra Kare, Ei Tamara Gun. So if we many times take bath in the holy rivers, then we get purified. But just by, but that one line is very interesting actually. If you read, when Vaishnava give darshan, it's not that you take darshan. This line, let me see this. This is an interesting line here. By receiving the glance of exalted Vaishnava. By receiving the glance, it's not by they give, but you receive. It means when they mercifully glance at you, then you are purified. So many people are seeing so many saints, but who is purified? Where the saint bless them by their presence. So receiving is most important in the translation. And now, so darshan, and even greater than the temple deities who slowly purify one. Chakravarti Pad says, Even temple duties, who slowly purify, Vaishnava quickly purifies simply by darshan. How? Really speaking, sadhu sang means hearing from Vaishnava. Vaishnava only purify by speaking Krishna consciousness. So purification is by holy name. And when this holy name is coming from the realized soul's mouth, it immediately has effect. So how Vaishnava purify? By, but actually, who is cleaning our heart? Cheto Darban Marjan, who is doing? Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtan. So sadhu does Sri Krishna Sankirtan, that purifies actually. There's another my realization I want to share. Sometimes we always say this when somebody takes initiation, all his sins are destroyed. And we think that Guruji has taken all sins. This is the way we say. But how is the process? The process is that Guru gives the seed of bhakti. And the seed of bhakti is rule and regulation of devotional service, which means sadhana bhakti. And as soon as we start sadhana bhakti, and the first result is klesha gani. First, what is the first result? Klesha gani. All the sinful activities, their seed and their results are finished. So how actually spiritual master take away the sin? By giving Svedi sadhana bhakti. If we perform that, then sins are removed. If we won't perform, it's not that you put the all sin in a bag and then give to the Guruji, take this as a dakshina. It's not like that, but people say like that. The thing is, if we perform sadhana bhakti, then klesha gani is the first result. Then all sins are finished. So this is the process. Then Chakravarti Pad writes, this is confirmed in the words of the son of Prachin Bharait. They are Pracheta, they are Vaishnava. Which Vaishnava they are? They are Rudra Sampradaya Vaishnava, because Lord Shiva gave them Rudra Gita. Or they are saying, Tesham vicharatam padayam tirthanam pavachaya pavanechaya bhitasya kim naroche tatavakanam samagama. Dear Lord, your devotees wander all over the world to purify even the holy places of pilgrimage. Is not such activity pleasing to those who are actually afraid of material existence? And then we remember Yudhishthira Maharaj told Vidur that Tirtha Kurvanti Tirthani, such holy places even purify the holy places. Before Mother Ganga was coming down on the earth planet, 3 generations of Maharaj Sagar, Anshuman, Dilip and Bhagirath. Then the Mother Ganga appeared in a person as a demigod's Ganga. This is the Adi Bhautik means material aspect of Ganga is water flowing. But in Adi Devik form, she is a demigoddess, Mother Ganga, with a crocodile as a carrier. And in a spiritual, Adhyatmik, it is a Brahma Dravya of the Brja river or Karuna Sagar. So Mother Ganga said, I can come on the earth, I am satisfied by your periods of the 3 generations, but my flow is so swift, from earth I will go down into the subterranean planets, you will not get benefit. And number 2, the sinful people will take bath in me, how can I be purified? Then again Bhagirath approached Lord Shiva and asked that, can you help me to take the Mother Ganga in your hairs and stop her flow and let it come to the earth? And Lord Shiva agreed for that. And then the saintly people living there, they said, tell Mother Ganga that even the sinful people take bath and then we live there and we will purify Mother Ganga from all sins. And then Mother Ganga came on the earth. So the saintly people can purify the holy places. And there also Krishna speaks this in Kurukshetra to the sages, that going to the holy places and taking simply dip in the water is like gokar samana, is like a cow or a ass. Then what should one do there? He must find out the saintly person and listen from them Krishna Katha. Then there is a purpose of going to the holy place. So a couple other verses will come in a line. Our time is over. And Jiva Goswami writes, Krishna explains the greater power of the devotees. Greater power of the devotees. The devotees are sum total of all the demigods. The greatest demigod, Indra, was rejected and Govardhan was worshipped by Krishna to show the devotee is higher than all demigods. So Krishna explained the greater power of devotees. The deity form of devatas are their direct appearance, and the holy land, Kshetrani, or the water, Tirthani, gradually purify and over a long time. But by the glance of those who wander about, mentioned in the previous verse, the devotees who are more worthy of worship, aratamam, then the deity form or tirtha, one become purified at once. This is the main cause of purification. And thus, even I am dependent on you. Krishna says, I am dependent on you, Shurtadev, because you are Brahman. Now, just with one line, I end it. Srila Prabhupada was in Radha Kund, where Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati was going about to give a class, and the whole yatra was going to Seshashai. And everybody went to Seshashai, but Prabhupada stayed back and he would listen. So this is going to the holy place and getting darshan of the saintly person. Not holy place, but saintly person. That is most important. Prabhupada stayed back and back. And that was remembered by Bhaktisiddhanta at Prayagraj when he was recommended for initiation. I know he is very eager to listen. So Tirtha means going to the holy, saintly people. Ganthraj Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So devotees are more important, and going home to home is our business, and to teach people about Gita as it is. Any question or comment? Yes, Prabhu. Prabhu ji ki jai.
Hare Krishna. Just since you brought up Brahmananda and Gagamuni going to Pakistan, east and west, then they got lost. There was no news of them for a good while, and Prabhupada was getting buried in the house. What happened to Brahmananda? There was a news that some sadhus were killed in Pakistan, and Prabhupada was very worried about that. So when Brahmananda came, then Prabhupada embraced him and cried. And he said, for this, that you go to a country which is a war zone and you preach, that you run this risk, I'll take you back to Godhead.
Hare Krishna. So he brought him to Vrindavan and he took him from there to Godhead, definitely. After that, Atri Rishi came to Pakistan. Atri Rishi came to Pakistan on a business tour with the of Onyx.
Yeah.
And he lived with a community that is in name Muslims. They are called Khoja. Khoja community, Aga Khani. So he told Prabhupada that there is a scope of preaching to those people there. And then Prabhupada wanted another devotee, his disciple, Amogha Leela Das, because he was knowing Hindi, because he was grown up here in this school. His father was priest in some church in Masuri. So Amogha Leela actually then, he started preaching there in, say, 81, something like that, after 10 years. And then now there are temples building and things are going on.
Because you're such a lion, you're preaching like anything. That's the thing, That's the case. She doesn't knows how to preach in all circumstances. You're symbolizing that very much.
Anyway, Prabhupada, the whole point I was saying is an international movement. This is what new devotees should be trained in, with this clear understanding that we have to preach to all. It's not we are focused to one line. This is what I wanted to say. This was Prabhupada's mood.
Very nice, thank you. Sankirtan Yagya Ki Jai. That's
Sankirtan has two wings, book distribution and Harinam.
Prabhupada pushed the book distribution, and there's a real formula for being Krishna conscious, because you get up early, you chant enthusiastically, you listen carefully, because you have to go out and meet all the elements out there and beat your mind the whole day, because the mind's always thinking of how to relax and enjoy life. But this becomes enjoyable. The more and more you distribute books, the more happy you become. And so this is the time of the season, people get enthusiastic to get gifts, so we give them gifts of Bhagavad-Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam.
Okay.
Yes.
Can I ask you? You raised very important and germane point about preaching to non-Hindus. I joined ISKCON in Stockholm way back in mid-1980s. And at that time, most of the devotees were naturally Swedish devotees. Today, it's a completely transformed. All the lectures used to be in Swedish. Now, everything is transformed. Everybody is Indian. 99% of the people who visit are Indian. And the classes are given in English instead of Swedish. So we do not get any new Swedish devotees. So it's a stumbling block for us. The same story, whenever you visit the United States, so in all the temples, for example, I visited Texas, in Georgia, in Atlanta, Georgia. Temple was full of Indians. However, in Argentina, in Buenos Aires, the temple was full of Argentinians or the Latin Americans, and the lectures were given in Spanish. So, what this is a stumbling block problem. How to resolve it?
This is everywhere. It's like that nowadays. Everywhere we find I was in Switzerland. The whole temple. They said one day is South Indian, one day is North Indian.
Yeah.
So the point is, I think we need this very much, that we should make it international. There's one photo came that from Australia. It says, during Prabhupada's time, Prabhupada was only Indian and we all were Australian. Now, he said, I am only the Australian, rest all are Indians. He posted this photo on Facebook. So therefore I am telling you that we have to be open-minded and make it international flavor. That's most important. What is your question, Prabhu?
Thank you very much, Prabhu. Actually, the same thought line which Prabhu brought about Western outreach, in my short experience of Western outreach, one of the reason why it happened and what we can do is, one of the thing we did as a preacher, we displayed Krishna consciousness as a matter of religion, then as a matter of rather than a matter of explaining the process or a science behind the thing.
I think this is a very valid question. Prabhupada said, I am not preaching religion, I am preaching the science of soul and science of love of God. So basically, this is the difference between ISKCON and rest of the religious groups. They are based on body because they are born in the religion, therefore they are religious. We are preaching the science of soul beyond religion. This is the difference between ISKCON and rest of the religion people. Religious people are bodily conscious because I am born Hindu, so I am Hindu. I am born Muslim, so I am Muslim. I am born Christian, but Krishna conscious movement is a movement based on soul. Science of soul and science of self. Therefore, this we have to make clear in our preaching. This is not a Hindu movement, though it is the science of soul is the Sanatan Dharma. Is the Sanatan Dharma. Is the science of soul, is the Sanatan Dharma. But we are not teaching any religion. It is a spirituality.
Yes.
There's a difference between religiosity and spirituality. We are a spiritual movement. We are not a religious movement. Once I took Prasad of Janmashtami from here, Rupa Raghunath, and we went to the president of India, then Abdul Kalam Sahib. He was a Muslim one. So he said, from where you are coming, somehow Krishna, inspired me. I said, we are a spiritual movement. He said, welcome. I respect spiritual people, but religious people fight. If you are spiritual, go where the religious people are fighting, you solve their problem. He said that, and then he accepted Prasad. So what I'm saying, religious and spiritual is a different thing. Religion is a bodily concept, spiritual is based on soul. This is what we preach. But if we realize this, then things can be at a spiritual ground. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Somebody, Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.